Hey guys, this is Rick with Rick's Laser Designs. I'm going to show you how I make a image on a coin that I'm going to make. I'll make it perfectly round. There's two ways to do it. I've seen people post before, how do you guys center the coin exactly or center the image exactly on the coin to make it just look perfect? Well, there's two ways to do it, and well, really three, but the third way is not very good. You have to just be really, you have to get a good guess. If it's a square image, you have to make sure the square sticks out on each side of the coin just perfect, and you don't want to go with that. Let me show you the two ways to do it well, and you can go from there. All right, so here I am in my browser. I typed in, if you notice, I typed in free cat clip art. Uh, if you're going to do it with an image, do it with a free image or do it with an image you purchased. It's really hard to do it with any other image. You could do it with your own image. You could do it with something that you took say you took a picture of your truck. Make sure you actually run your truck through and turn it into a black and white image, and it will engrave the way you want it to engrave. Probably. You have to work at it. But I'm going to make it easy. I did a black and white image like this, which is pretty much one shade. The black is all the exact same black, but it looks pretty good. Okay, now that we got the cat imported, you notice it's still got the square around it, right? And this is 37 by 37, which is going to be measured from here to here. And the cat's a lot smaller than 37 by 37. We can easily adjust that. That's not a problem. First things we want to do is we want to make the circle. We want to grab on the circle and we want to drop a circle. We want to make a perfect circle. We want to make it 37 by 37. Even though our coin says it's a 40 millimeter, we're making it 37 millimeter. We can always adjust that if we want to. So I'm going to double left click until it highlights everything. I'm going to put 37, and you notice I unlocked it by left clicking on it to unlock it. I'm going to double click on this as well, make it 37. So now I got a perfect circle. So I'm going to go ahead and relock it. Left click, relock it. Now it's good to go. Click on this arrow right here to actually be able to drag and drop something. Right now it's in creation mode. We don't want to be in creation mode. We want to be in pinpoint mode. So we want to be able to drag it. So you see how you got these squares here pointing four arrows of the compass? We can drag it what we want. So this is basically the representation of the burn part of the coin. Your coin's going to be a little bit bigger than this, but this is the representation of it. So we're going to go ahead and change the color. Again, I went fuchsia, so let's go with fuchsia. That's what our coin's going to look like. The cat's going to be in our coin. If we want the cat a little bit larger, if you notice when I highlight this, it changes. That is now highlighting the circle. I don't want to highlight the circle. I want to highlight the cat. So I'm going to click on the cat, and it highlighted the cat. I'm going to drag the cat a little bit bigger, make him a little bit bigger, and there's an airplane flying by. Hopefully it's not too loud on the mic. Okay, so make it a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to use my keyboard. So left click on, hold down the control key, and I'm right clicking on the arrow. So I made it pretty much where I want it. So now I've got the size exactly where I want. I got it lined up exactly where I want, and I've got it in here exactly where I want. So the way you get your circle exactly when you frame it is I'm highlighting just the fuchsia circle, right? I'm not highlighting the cat. You come over here to frame, you click on frame, you're going to get a perfect circle. It comes out perfectly because you're highlighting just a circle. Now if I highlighted everything and hit frame, it's going to give me the circle and the square. We don't want the circle and the square. We want just the circle. So go back over here and highlight just the circle and click that, and now you got a perfect circle. Now make sure you don't move the cat or the circle at all, because now you've screwed up your alignment. Now once you've got it exactly where you want it, you highlighted this, you click frame, you put it exactly on the coin where you want, and hey, got a pro tip for you. If you wear glasses like me, take your glasses off, get your face real close to the coin, not blocking the laser, but get it close to the coin. Because when you wear glasses, what happens is your glasses, if you've worn glasses for years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your glasses distort the light image, the refraction. So if you're looking at it at an angle, you get the refraction, and it's not going to be a perfect alignment as if you didn't wear glasses. Your eyes are tuned to the lenses that are in your eyes, that grew in your eyes, and that's why you'll get it perfect on your eyes. But when you put something in front of your eyes, maybe an inch away, which is actually your glasses lens, you get refraction. So take your glasses off and do this with your glasses off up close, and you'll get it precise. I mean, we're talking micron precise, right? So that's how you do that. Now, we want this circle to permanently be around the cat. I'm going to drag a circle over both of them, right click, and click group. Now the circle is permanently around the cat. Doesn't matter if I highlight this, I drag everything around at one time. Notice I'm not dragging just the fuchsia circle around. But if I don't highlight this, let's say I'm unlocked, if I go and highlight this without locking it, and I move it around, I'm moving the circle by itself. We don't want to do that. Remember, we want to move the cat and the circle at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and realign it here. Just perfect. Okay, that's good. Drag both over both of them. We're highlighting both of them. Right click on it, group it. Now both of them are highlighted. I can just click on the cat and it moves the circle with it as well. But when you click frame, it's going to do both the circle and the square. Now there's a way to get around the circle and the square to do it both framed up. It's a little more complicated. I'm showing you guys the easiest way to do it, and if you want to kind of get into more complicated, I'll make a video on that later. But this is the easiest way to do it, and you'll get it perfect every time, I promise you. So that's the way you get it done. Now, if you're going with an image that's much bigger, say it's a lot of background square image, and right now you're seeing just the cat and the whole background is just white, which is fine, or you can make it transparent. But let's say you're going with an image with a whole lot bigger. What you want to do is drag that image into something like, I like to use, let's see here, I like to use right here, which is going to be background remove, right? Or remove BG. Upload your image into remove BG, whatever it is. Go to downloads. We're going to put, I did this car for someone the other day. It's a black background, right? So we're putting a black background in there. I don't want the black background, so it actually removed the entire background. Now I can download just the car. Of course, there's all this right here you don't see because it's been removed. And then, of course, you go into the computer and do it like I showed you. Put a circle around it, or you could crop it and get it everything out of there and just use just the car. Of course, you can drag a line around all of it and do it in another program, say Microsoft Photoshop or something like that. But this is the easiest way to get things done. Remember, BG or removebg.com, and then save it. I have it saved right here. It makes things a whole lot easier, which would give you again what I did here. And what I had done was did it full screen. If you notice, I did them full screen right here. When I did it, it comes out pretty much full screen, and it's this color. I didn't want it this color, but that's how it came out. So anyway, we're back to the cat. So now we want to actually burn this into a coin. So what I suggest you do is depending on the power of your laser, my laser is a 30-watt laser, which will do everything a 50-watt will do or a 100-watt will do. It just takes a lot longer. Basically, when you're looking at wattage of lasers, think about power versus speed. It's not always exactly the same thing, but think power versus speed. So if I had a 100-watt, I wouldn't have to go as many passes on it. If I had a 150-watt, I wouldn't have to go as many passes on it. And passes mean time. So, but in my case, I have a 30-watt. So I'm going to run it either between 90 or 100% power, right? I like to run it at about 1700 or 17,000 millimeter per second, right? Passes, you can go 150 passes, depending on what you want your coin to look like, how deep you want your coin to be in. And then, of course, 46 is what my laser likes to run at. My frequency likes to run at 46. But make sure, this is the most important thing. I've gone over this several times, but I want to make sure everything is correct on it. We're going to unhighlight it because we're going to ungroup it because we don't want to mess with the circle. We want to mess with just the image. So I'm going to right click on the image, come down here to adjust image. Make sure you're at 3D slicing. It's very important. And make sure your DPI is at least 1,000. Could be better than 1,000, but at least 1,000, because if you run it at low, this is what the actual image looks like. This is what I made it look like. It makes it sharper and clearer. But let's say I run it at 250 DPI. Okay, go back in here. I'm going to adjust image. Now, I don't know if you can really notice it, but it actually lost resolution. You can see, abnormalities which aren't here, which are here. Look at the edge of the whiskers, which aren't here. So we want to make it nice and clean again, right? So let's go to 1,000 and go back in here, I'm adjusting it. Now you notice those artifacts are gone. See how much cleaner it looks? That's what we want to run it. We want to try to run it about 1,000, if not higher, and then that's where it goes. And then of course you're gonna see that it changes some things. It changes your line interval to 0.025. We're still at 3D slicing. And then you can mess with these things, your gamma, and you want to make sure that the picture looks exactly the way you want it to look when you decide to burn it. Click OK. You go up here, you notice it changed the interval to what it put it in here. Everything else is the same. And then double check, always before you start to do it, double check, hit frame again, one more time. And remember, I don't want to highlight everything all at one time. I just want to highlight the outer circle. So just highlight the outer circle and hit frame, and it's going to be a perfect circle for you. I'm looking at it right now. Trust me, it's a perfect circle. This is what we want to do. And then go ahead and hit stop the framing and hit start. And you'll see it starts to rasterize. It'll go back and forth, and it'll start rasterizing. And then it will actually start to burn. Make sure you have your glasses on. You don't want to burn your retinas. And it will actually start to burn this image into a 3D image on your coin. So it's going to look like a brand new nickel or a brand new dime, depending on what you put it on. If you put it on brass, it's going to be, kind of a yellowish dime, but it'll look great. And if you use polish, which I like to do, I've actually started using polish. It will make it really pretty. And if you go deep enough, I think the best way to do it is if you go deep enough with this, meaning you go more than 100, you go like 200 and 300 passes or more, which takes a lot longer, obviously. And the longer it takes, the less money you make. That's why the more powerful laser you have, the better it is for you, right? So you can get it done faster. It makes it shiny if you use a soft metal bristle on something like a Dremel. And I want to show you the picture right here. Take a look at this. This is just a coin that I made. But the reason why I say you want to go a little bit deeper when you do this, because when you use that coin or when you use that brush, it actually brushes away some of the top layer of your coin. If it's brass, it'll brush some of it away. So if you don't go deep enough, it'll actually kind of lose resolution. So as long as you do this, it'll be good to go. And if you have any other questions, please let me know.